Hey guys, Jeremy here, and today we're taking a look at this dehumidifier. This was sent to me at no charge for this review. And so in this review, we're going to set this up and let's let it run over the weekend. This is a Friday afternoon right now. We're going to be out of town for the weekend. Going to come back Monday and just see how much water we've collected. Now, this does say that it will dehumidify or draw moisture out of the air up to 4,500 square feet. Now, that's a pretty big area. I got about 1,200 square feet down here in my basement. We're right in the middle of a remodel. So you can see all the sheetrock behind me. You can see the mud on the walls. And what we want to do is keep the moisture level down. And I want to keep the moisture level at around about 45%. And I think that this dehumidifier is going to get that job done. Now, I'm going to show you all of the functions on the panel. But before we get there, first things first, we got some nice rollers here on the base of it, so that we can roll this from one room to the next. You've also got handles if you want to carry it. It does have some weight to it, so I think rolling it is going to be the key thing to do there. Now, you do have a nice long power cord. This is about 6 foot, more than 6 foot, probably 6 foot 3 inches. So you've got a good length on that power cord. On the back side here, you could either let it drain right down in here into the bucket, and then when it's full, you can pull this little handle out, take it over to a drain, and pour it out, and then refill it again. So it does have a float in there, and that float is going to shut the dehumidifier off automatically so that this does not overflow. Now, if you wanted to have a continuous run, and that's the way that I would use it, but I just want to see how much moisture we're drawing out of the air. So I'm not going to do the drain hose yet, but you can install a drain hose right here and then run that drain hose to a floor drain and just allow this to run continuously. Now, they do supply you with a little hose here. I'm guessing that's about 3 foot, 4 foot, somewhere around there. It's not the longest of hoses, so this is going to have to be somewhere near an outlet and near your floor drain if you want to use that hose for a continuous run. So like I said, we're just going to let this run just into the catcher bucket. And so it's probably going to run for about 24 hours before it automatically shuts off. Just as I said, we're keeping the humidity down to about 45%. Now, another big thing here is that we are in the middle of construction, and so there's a lot of dust floating in the air. And so you want to make sure that you clean that filter on a regular basis. So you can wash this with warm soapy water. You can use an air compressor and blow it out. I would blow this out as well. But make sure this is completely dry before you put it back on, because if you are sucking some dirt in through a wet filter, you're going to get mud, you're going to plug it up, and then you're going to end up ruining your machine. So make sure that's completely dry before you install it and turn it back on. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the features that are available here. I am plugged in, and so we're going to go ahead and power it on right here. Now, what I like about this is that you got a really large display on top. Then you've also got a large display right here in front. Now, this is telling us what the humidity level is right now in this room. So we're sitting at about 65. My guess is once it gets an accurate reading, that's going to start to drop, or it might start to raise, depending on where your humidity level is in the house. All right, so a couple of things we want to take a look at here. If you got this running overnight and you don't want to have any lights, you can shut that off just like that. The machine is still running, you can hear, but there is no display. So we turn that back on so we can see everything that we got going here. You've got a fan speed right here, and you can see it's set on fast, slow, fast, slow, okay? We want it on fast because it looks like our humidity level is pretty high. It's about 86 degrees outside right now. We're not running the air conditioning, and so the hotter it gets, the more humid it's going to get. You do have a timer that you can set in 1 hour increments all the way up to 24 hours, which means that once it runs for 16 hours, it's just going to shut off. That's what the timer feature is. And so we don't want that. We're just going to let this run. You do have the water drops over here. Now, this is going to be the level of humidity we want in the house. And so it's going to change by 5% at a time. So I want about 45% down here in the basement. Our next button here is going to be our mode button. You can see we got a DH, which is dehumidify, and then we've got dry. Dry is going to be for drying clothes. If you've got a clothesline down here in your basement or anywhere in the house, you can use this to dry your clothes, and it's going to run continuous. When you have it on dehumidify, it's going to run until it hits 45%, and then it's going to shut off. Once it hits 46%, then it's going to kick back on. So everything's going to be automatic, and that's where we're going to leave it. Now, I want you to notice that it is super duper quiet. All we hear is the fan. We don't hear the compressor running. And so this is not going to be something that's going to keep you up at night. It's not going to be bothersome at all. So what we're going to do, we're just going to leave this thing running. I can feel the compressor running. It's just kind of vibrating here. And so I know that it's working right. We're going to leave it how it is. We're going to come back Monday morning. Again, this is Friday afternoon. Come back Monday morning. We're going to drain this thing, and then we're going to start it back up, and we're going to keep this running. Try to keep this area at 45%. All right, so I know that I said we was going to let this run until Monday. It's Sunday afternoon, maybe 5 o'clock, and the reservoir was full. And I've already dumped it. My camera didn't turn on when I first pushed the video, so this is what we got left over from our first dump. But this was full, and when it is full, there is a red flashing light that comes on the top here to tell you that it is full. We've emptied it, so it's not going to say full, but see where it says full right there? That will come up and it'll flash until you empty out the reservoir. So what we're going to do is we're going to install the drain hose. Okay, so for the dehumidifier to run in continuous mode like we want it to, we're going to have to power off first. Then we're going to pull the reservoir. We're going to take the cap off of our continuous plug, and then right here, there's a plug inside there. That's not real clear on the instruction manual, but that needs to come out in order for the continuous mode to function correctly. So rather than filling up here, it's going to just go down the drain hose. All right, so we've been letting this run on continuous for 24 hours. The plan was to drop the humidity down to 45%, and we're just not getting there. I do not have the air conditioner running, so that would be a big help, but we're just down here in a hot, humid basement. We've been slinging mud, we've been painting, we've been priming, we've been doing a lot of moisture producing activities, and I got two dehumidifiers, and they're just not keeping up. We're sitting at 73% right now on a continuous run. The outside temperature today was about 86, and so it's pretty warm down here in the basement as well. And if you know anything about humidity, the warmer it gets, the more humid it gets as well. Actually, that's going to depend on where you live, but here in the Midwest, it gets super humid, and so this is really struggling to keep up. It's doing the best that it can. I do have another brand in the other room, and it's running at 70% as well. Okay, so just a quick little update. We come back here the next morning. We went from 75% down to 64%. And that's just to demonstrate that when things cool off, like if we was running the air conditioner, when things cool off, your humidity level is going to drop. Good little dehumidifier here, 63%. We're down one more, so we'll just keep on going.